morning, it's Jane here, and it's time for another Modailty Monday. Today, I'm going to be talking about foam rollers. Now, I will say that many years ago, I was not a fan. Foam rollers, you're not the boss of me. But I got to appreciate them as I was working towards my certification, and I learned all about foam rolling. So today I'm going to impart some of that knowledge with you, and we're going to do a little 10-minute exercise. There are a couple exercises in there, but mostly it's going to be stretching with the foam roller. Foam rollers come in many shapes and sizes. They are typically 5 or 6 inches in diameter. So this is a 6-inch diameter tube. This is a 5-inch diameter tube. They can be, hello, everybody. They can be solid. So this is solid foam. This is a 2-foot-long foam roller. They can be made out of plastic. So this one is about 1 foot long. It's 1 foot long, and it's hollow so that if I were traveling, which I will never get to do again because of COVID, but if I were traveling, you could, put stuff in here and save space, and then you could take your foam roller with you. Because who doesn't want to foam roll everywhere you go? Actually, most people. So some people don't like foam rolling because it can be very painful, and it's a little bit like tough love. It is. There are different, sometimes you'll see people foam rolling, like just sort of rolling back and forth. It's actually it's not really the way you're supposed to do it. So the way I was taught was that when you're foam rolling, you have sort of 2 phases. I call the first one the exploratory phase. So if you have a muscle that's long, like a calf or a quad, like a lot of your leg muscles, you want to go and slowly roll your limb over the foam roller at a rate of about 1 inch per second. And what you're doing is you're looking for any tender spots. So if you find a tender spot, then the second phase is that you just hold it on that tender spot and you say, and you breathe. You're like, I gotta get through this. And you hold it for at least 30 seconds. You want to hold it for that long because that's how long it takes for the Golgi tendon organ, the GTO, to tell the muscle to relax. It's going to be okay. But it needs 30 seconds before it does that. So you want to roll and explore, find your tender spots, hold on that tender spot for 30 seconds. Someone's asked me once, well, what if you have multiple tender spots? So usually if you have the time, you can roll out all of them. But if you're pressed for time, get it pressed on here. Okay. I'll show myself out after this. If what I read is you basically pick the worst spot and you focus on that. But you could go and work on all of your spots if you got the time. Why not? What else do I want to say? Let's see. So they come in different shapes. You can see that some of them are ridged, and they'll have like big spiky things coming out. I don't know if you've seen, there are some foam rollers that look like torture devices, and they sort of are. And people will say, well, do I have to have all this different stuff? And you don't. I mean, they actually make some foam rollers that are like they have more give to them. So you can start off, if you're new to foam rolling and it's not very comfortable, you can get ones that are a little springier and a little more malleable so they don't press as firmly. And then other people, they want the really big spiky ones. The only thing I read about big spiky ones is that you want to be careful because if the different bumps are too far apart in your exploratory phase, you may miss a tender part in the muscle because the spikes are too far apart. I don't really have that issue here because these are relatively flat. Also, fun fact, the company that makes this does it it's made in Durham, North Carolina, right down the street from where I used to work. So this company used to be my neighbor. I didn't know that until after I bought this and I had already moved. But neighbors. So, was there anything else I wanted to say? Probably. But we're going to stop there and we're going to do 10 moves. So 60% of them, so 6 moves, are going to be actual rolling or pressing or holding a certain position. But you can also use your foam roller for some balance moves or some other moves. I'm gonna show you a few moves and that are not specifically for stretching. They're more for, you know, adding instability to like a core move. You ready for this? You all ready for this? Okay. We'll get started. So for some of these, I'm gonna use my short one, and for some of these, I'm gonna use my longer one. And I'm definitely gonna stretch because I think I pulled a quad muscle somehow. Okay. So we're gonna start in 10 seconds with our pecs. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have the foam roller at 45-degree angle relative to your body. And you're just going to put, so basically it's not in my armpit, it's just in front of my armpit. And you're just gonna hang out and put pressure on it, letting your body sink into the foam roller. Note that you wanna make sure that you're protecting your back, so you're not just sort of letting everything sink in. You're gonna keep your core engaged, keep your back flat so you're not putting strain on your lower back. And I'm gonna switch over and do the other side. Again, I'll probably be a little under 30 seconds, but I'm gonna go for 30 seconds. Again, not in the armpit, just in front of the armpit. Then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to lie like a mermaid and stretch my lats. So nice. Okay, so again, not in the armpit, just underneath. My arm is out, and so just underneath the armpit, this is going to get one of the, it's going to stretch your lats. You can lean back a little bit, and then it'll get the teres major, I believe. That's a little helper. And if this is, if you want a little more intensity, you can do like snow angels. So notice I'm holding the position with the foam roller, especially the other side, but I'm moving, moving the muscle. So this can help get a little deeper into the muscle if you need that. And in 10 seconds, I'm going to flip over and I'm going to stretch my quad. So you can do both quads at one time, or you can just work one. So I am particularly tight on this side, so I'm going to show you, so you can, let me get to the other side. Sometimes it's when you're doing one side, it's easier to have the shorter one. So I'm going to slowly roll along my quad. And I might go back. And then, ooh, there we go. Then we hold it. And again, you want to make sure you're letting your body weight sort of sink into this. But you want to make sure your back is still straight, you're not hunching over or anything like that. And sometimes I can actually feel the muscle just release. Sometimes it's very obvious. Other times, maybe not so much. But you are doing work. All right, so one thing that you can do that's fun is you can get into a plank. You can hold it on the foam roller. So this is not an easy move, it's a little more advanced, but it just allows you to give you some instability, and you can have greater core engagement by adding that little unstable element. Go to the other side and try it. I haven't tried this side yet. Again, you could stagger your feet for more base of support. Keeping the hip up. In 10 seconds, I'm gonna work on a calf muscles. All right. So again, roll slowly. Let's go here. Once you find that spot, you can put one leg over the other. Put a little more pressure on it. Again, just want to breathe. Relax. I'm going to switch sides real quick. It's a nice tender spot right there. Again, keeping the rest of my body active. You don't get to take a break ever. Next, I'm going to show you a move. It's a little hard with the 2-foot long roller. It should be like 3 feet, but we're going to show it anyway because it's one of my favorites. So basically, you're going to have this, let your back, center of your back is along the length of the foam roller. And if it were 3 feet, it'd be a little nicer because then I could have a little more of my neck support, but here I'm going to have to hold it up. So you're just going to let your arms just sort of sink into it. You want your whole back along the length of the foam roller. You can have your arms like this. You can have them move up like snow angels. And if you want to add a balance element, you can have your arms here, and then you can bring your legs up 90 degrees. So this takes some stability to stay on the foam roller. And then you can try taking your hands off. Ah! Oh my gosh, that was the best I've ever done. All right. Now we're going to do IT band. I hate IT band so much. So you're going to cross one foot in front of the other. You're going to slowly roll. Ooh, oh, oh. So some people ask, can I foam roll for more than 30 seconds? Of course you can foam roll for more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the minimum. You're not going to see, huge returns if you roll on a spot for, say, 2 minutes. After a while it's like, okay. But if you get satisfaction of rolling it longer, go for it. Okay? Now, we're going to do another move. So, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get in a reverse plank. I'm going to have both of my heels on the foam roller. Try this. Then you're going to roll your feet in and out. Are you having fun here? Trying to keep your hips up during the movement. Should be feeling this in a lot of places. Ten seconds. Okay. Now I'm going to go into child's pose, having my fingers, my thumbs pointing up, really leaning into this so it's going to stretch your lower back and your chest a little more. Shoulders down back, sinking into the stretch. A lot of stretching today. I like it. I like it. All right, and for my last move, just to show that you can do some crazy things with it, you can roll out and do a push-up. So you're adding a roll adding instability. Keep breathing. 15 more seconds. So yes, you can incorporate a foam roller into your regular workout. A million other ways to do it. And activity completed. There you go. So there you have it. Foam rolling. You can stretch it out. You can use it for instability and core engagement and a lot more. Maybe I'll show you more another time. Until then, have a wonderful week. Take care. See ya.